Hello everyone, my name is Katarina from Garden Design Tools. Today I want to talk a little bit about something different. I actually wrote a blog post about this, and I just wanted to explore the favorite apps as a garden designer, to a bit of working on the move and on the desktop as well, and how can you be more productive, and how I found I'm very, like, every time something new comes up and shiny new thing, I'll jump on it and I lose a lot of time. Sometimes I'm not losing, sometimes I actually use that app after, but a lot of times uh, just the setting up, it takes me so much time and it's not practical in everyday use. So I'm gonna link to the blog post after so you can check it out. One of these apps that I actually explore a lot, and I really like this is Notion. Okay, Notion is great because you can customize it, and you can you can add blocks and to different things, and it's really great. But in everyday, I found by myself that in everyday work, in everyday job from mobile, it doesn't work because it doesn't integrate with my actual apps that I use. So I wrote in this blog post that the two tips actually I found is that if it doesn't integrate with specific apps that you use, that you're not gonna give it up. Talking about, for example, for me, Gmail, Google Calendar, Evernote. These three apps, anything now that I'm gonna be using, anything new that comes up, it needs to integrate with these apps. Okay, that's just me, but this is something that I found useful as a benchmark. Don't forget that every time I see something, oh, this might be amazing, but okay, let's think about how it integrates with things that I'm not gonna give up, like these three things, for example. Another thing is to be cross platforms. Okay, so Notion is great in a mobile app, and but other apps are great, and I use for example, I like a lot an app in my iPad, Mind Node, for example, Mind Maps, and I really like the organization of doing mind maps to organize the things I want to do, but it's not I don't have it in my Android phone. I can't access in my desktop because it's not a Mac. If you have a Mac, you can. So if you want to explore another thing, that or new software or a new app, especially if you're working mobile and in your desktop with the same app, another thing is to be cross-platform is really important. And another thing is, maybe sometimes it's really better to just pay for an app, because or for a piece of software, because you want to make sure they are here to stay. They are not going to be changing hands anytime soon. And I think a lot of us know about Sunrise and how devastating it was to lose that calendar. It was, but anyway, and it's just like, sometimes it's better to actually pay for the apps, and to make sure that they're business is viable and that they are here to stay. So I suggest a few apps. It's apps I use, okay, for different things, but I'm actually building a PDF of how I use them and when, okay, and I'm going to be sending out. So I'm going to be sending out to, in our newsletter. So please subscribe if you're interested, and please comment if you have any other suggestions or any other apps you choose to use in your everyday life. I'm keeping it light, not really strong in terms of software. Of course, AutoCAD, SketchUp, Lumion, this is the ones I use. But I'm actually more curious that what apps you use on the go, and what software you use to communicate with your client, for example, as a garden designer, and other things. So I really like Pinterest. I actually have different boards, and each board is in Portuguese, but I'm gonna translate, like fire pits and outdoor heaters, for example, vertical gardens, swimming pools. So I have a board for the different elements or different kinds of garden or vegetation that shows a bit my taste, but as I use it as a library for a new client. Okay, so every time I have a new client, I create a board for that project, and in there I'm gonna add different images of between vegetation, materials, etc., to give the client a mood of my idea, a mood that's gonna be in the garden. So that's how I use Pinterest. Okay, so that's an example of how an amazing network, and you have amazing images and access. That the search is really great in Pinterest, and its suggestions as well, and I use them to not only create my own boards, but as well as to create my clients' boards, and the client can actually add his own images, his own suggestions. Okay, so that's the way I use Pinterest. Another one I use is Canva. Canva is great because if you're on the go and if you're taking an image from a garden, a project of yours, or if you have a rendering that you want to share, you can create templates inside Canva that you can access from your mobile phone, from your iPad, and just add that image in, and it has your logo and everything, your image, your text, if you want to add some text, something like this. And it has loads of templates from Facebook covers, from all social media, banners, blogger, Instagram, everything you can think about, flyers, magazines, even magazines you can actually do it in Canvas. So really suggest exploring that. That's just two apps, software, whatever you want to call it, that I really like and I really use in almost every day. But I'm gonna be, like I told you, I'm gonna be doing a PDF with all this with these tools. Some of them free, some are not. I don't actually pay for a lot of apps. I paid for MindNote, that's the mind map app. I pay for Evernote. Google, I'm gonna have to start paying, but you know, I'm trying to keep it as free as much as I can. But yeah, please suggest your apps or softwares that you use, and subscribe if you want to receive that PDF. Okay, thank you guys.